Before I even start this commentary, I'm gonna go ahead and say that my opinions are not fact. If you have a different opinion, then that's completely natural and normal. And if you want to voice it, you can in the comment section. And I will likely reply to it with my own opinion. Again, kind of a back and forth situation. But the whole reason I'm doing this commentary in the first place is because I don't like the state of the COD community right now. And I know COD community might sound a little bit cringy, but hear me out for a second, guys. The current system is that you join a small team with the whole purpose of being noticed by a bigger one. How fucking stupid is that? Now you tell me that this guy starts YouTube. Let's say he started YouTube in 2014, and he joins this. I'm gonna fabricate a team right now. He joins this team called ZZZ that has 5K subs. And they're a sniping team. And in the back of his head, he's like, yeah, this team is cool and all, but like, I want to join a bigger team. I want to join a team with 20K subs. I want more exposure. And this is disheartening to the leaders of that team because their whole plan for that team is likely what every other leader wants for their team. And that's for their team to be regarded as good by the majority, or if not the majority, people they consider friends. But when a kid goes out for an RC publicly, let's say the kid in ZZZ that just joined, 3 weeks later, he goes for an RC for BBB, which is a team with 200K subs, as opposed to the 5K team ZZZ. Now, it might seem natural to do that for a lot of people, but when you put yourself in the shoes of the other people in the team who are content being in that team, it's kind of unfair to them, and it's kind of unfair to the leaders because everything they're trying to build up, you're essentially trashing by publicly going for another team. You're not only representing yourself when you go for a public RC, you're representing your team as well. If I see someone in ZZZ going for BBB, I'm thinking, wow, why is that guy going for that team when ZZZ just released a good video, for whatever, and that BBB team is actually kind of trash in comparison. It gets people talking, and the smart people will know that they're just doing it for exposure. But a lot of the people that watch their videos will be like, wow, you guys have players going for this team, you guys are just a B team, And that's the issue at hand here. A lot of the teams now are considered B teams for bigger teams, which is kind of an issue, to be honest. And I guess the biggest B team in the community would be Red, because they're essentially a B team for FaZe, which I guess it's not that bad considering FaZe owns both, but they have kind of a monopoly on the players of the community, which should be expected, as big as they are. But there are still people out there who actually don't care about the views, who don't care about the exposure. All they're doing it for is to make some kick-ass videos just like the old days. That's how it should be, in my opinion. Making some cool videos with your friends. And arguably, that's where the fun of Call of Duty lies, Making some videos with your friends, not worrying about what team you're in. If anything, whatever team you're currently in, no matter how small, you should work towards that being the best team it could be. Why take the easy way and join a bigger team that's regarded as better or regarded as more acceptable in the community when you can sit in your team, in your own team that you've been in for 3 months and work on it to make it the best it can be? It's going to be a challenge, but it's definitely worth it. That's what we did with Exalt. At a point in Exalt, we had a lot of people leaving or wanting to leave for Darth. And we were regarded as a Darth B team in 2012, I want to say. Even a little bit in 2013. But we were able to change that as time went on, Exalt back then was completely different than it was when it ended. It was not a team that people wanted to stay in. But everyone worked on that, and we made it what we wanted it to be. That's what I mean when I say that it's not fair when a player goes for a public RC when other players in that same team that he's in are satisfied being in that team. It's like you look at the roster and you see 5 people. Out of those 5 people, 4 of those are satisfied being in the team. And there is the one kid that's ruining it for everyone else because he's making it seem like their team is a B team. How is that fair to the other kids that are rostered? You know, they're in the same roster, they're in the same team, but they think completely different. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that when you want to do something like go for a public RC for a big team, I think it's more respectful for you to leave your current team, which is what I'm seeing a lot of people are doing, which is good. You should leave your current team and go for it solo. That way you don't fuck up what your leaders are doing and your fellow players. Now that's the perfect scenario though. I see a lot of people now lying through their teeth about wanting to be in the team they're in. I've had personal experiences where I've recruited people and they said they're super happy, being in whatever team I'm leading at the time. But then a week later, they go for an RC or they do a private RC or they're just being really sketchy or they leave without talking to anyone. And obviously that's normal, but when it happens so often, it just kind of opens your eyes to how fucked up this whole team thing is now. People are doing this simply to climb up a ladder. Now, that ZZZ team I was speaking of early, that kid that went for the 200K RC didn't make it in, right? And the leaders of ZZZ were okay with him not making it in. They were kind of glad he didn't make it in. That team's kind of small, so it still hasn't affected them. But then he joins another team from that RC. You get what I'm saying? So he didn't make it into that 200K team, but from the RC for that 200K team, he made it into a 30K team. Okay? Now, the ladder keeps going. Once he's in that 30K team, next time that comes around, that another big team is in RC, he's going to go for that as well. And he's just going to keep going and keep going. And along where he keeps going, he's going to keep fucking up what that team that he's joining wants to do. He might be happy with the current situation that he is in that 30K team, just like he was happy with the 5K one. But in the back of his head, he's thinking, next time I'm going to go for that and I'm going to get in. And that shouldn't be the motivation for you, to play. Personally speaking, when I tell someone that they can't go for a team publicly or, through Skype, they're like, hey man, why are you trying to take the fun away from this thing for me? Well, let me ask you the same question. When you do that, like I explained before, when you go for a public RC in my team, you're taking the fun away from everyone else as well. You're ruining what we're trying to do. Why is it fair for you to take the fun away from our thing and we can't take the fun away from yours? And the fun aspect of Call of Duty shouldn't even be climbing up a ladder in the first place. It should be about making, like I said, good videos with your friends. But that's not how things are currently. That's why it's very hard to lead a team now, a respectable team, because you never know who's going to go for that team. You never know who's going to leave for that team. It's hard. And when someone does, people talk about it. Everyone has a different opinion on this, though, and this is just my own. I could have speculated a lot more, but it's already a 9-minute long commentary, and I doubt anyone wants to sit here and listen to what else I have to say. If you guys do, I can make a second commentary, as I probably didn't get everything I wanted to talk about out of the way. Yeah, that's it. If you guys enjoyed, you don't even need to like the video. You can just comment letting me know, and I'd appreciate that. Thanks for hearing me out.